Hi there, this is Sarah with Transparent Classroom, and I'm very excited to be here for our first Facebook Live video event. Today I'll be talking about how to customize a couple things in Transparent Classroom so that your school is totally ready for the end of this school year and the beginning of next school year when it comes to how you're billed, how your teachers can access record keeping, and what classrooms your children are placed in to make sure that they are all in the correct classroom. So I have our demonstration school here, and this is where I'm going to be able to show you what we have as far as work to do to round out the end of this school year and the beginning of next school year. So to update the dates that your school year is designed to be in session here in Transparent Classroom, you will need to have access to the admin functions of Transparent Classroom, and you can access those by with an administrator permission, and we're going to go to sessions here. And so you have your school year, and it goes from the fall to the spring, usually for a 10-month program. And I have a session here that reflects the dates of my school year in Transparent Classroom. What I'm going to do is click on that school year and edit those dates to make sure that my teachers have access to record keeping maybe a couple weeks before next school year, before the end of a couple weeks before the beginning of next school year and a couple weeks after the end of this school year. What will happen when this session ends on this day is the access switches over and teachers won't be able to make records from the activity page or use their lesson plans anymore. So you definitely want to make sure they have a couple extra weeks or days to do that. So you can change the dates of your session here. If you don't have a summer session, like your school is not open during July and August, you'll need to create an inactive summer session. So you can do that by creating a new session, calling that Summer 2017, and just setting those dates to be the dates that your school isn't open and your teachers don't need access to record keeping. Go ahead and check the box marked inactive. And that way, Transparent Classroom knows that when the current school year ends, your next school year is going to isn't going to start right away. So you won't be billed for the time that your school isn't open. From here, you want to make sure that your children are in the correct classroom. So we can do that by going to the classroom placement page. And here on the classroom placement page, you can see a neat graphic that shows the balance of your classroom. You can show it by age, gender, or dominant language. I'm going to update records for, I'm going to move children into a classroom for the next school year. So I'm going to select 2017-18 from the drop-down menu. And just make sure that all of my children are going to be assigned to the classroom that they need to be in. So you can do that for your children by either copying them into the classroom that they were already in by clicking copy. And again, this column that says 2017-18 age, this column shows the age that children will be in the session that you're assigning classrooms for. So I can see actually Aaliyah was in our primary classroom in the 2016-17 school year, but she is going to be the elementary, old enough for elementary classroom the next year. So rather than copying her into the primary classroom, I'm going to select our elementary classroom from the drop-down menu. And you can't see this drop-down menu, but it's a list of all my classes. So I'm just going to select elementary, and there it is. For Avi, he's also moving up into our primary classroom. Abner, we already put him, he's going to be in the same. Albert is moving up. He's going to be almost 6 next year. And Alex is just going to be in the same classroom. Alice is going to stay for another year in primary and might transition mid-year. Anthony is just staying. So I'm just clicking the copy button as I go down the line. So it's very fast. And this is something that you'll only have to do once each year. Now, Audrey was in our upper elementary classroom, but she is actually going to leave the school. All I have to do to make sure that I'm not billed for Audrey and she doesn't show up in my teacher's record keeping as, in their classroom when they're trying to do their record keeping, is just leave this section blank. So I just selected the blank spot from my drop down menu, and that will make sure that I still have access to Audrey's records. You definitely would not ever want to delete her. She's a real child, and we want to be able to have access to her records in case her future school wants them. So I just took her out of the current session, and now I'm going to move. Avery is going to be one of the younger children in our primary classroom, so she's moving up as well. So those are the two functions that you'll need to do moving into the coming school year. So I've updated to make sure that the session dates match the dates that my school is in session, plus a couple extra weeks for record keeping. And I just went through and checked on each child and made sure that they were in the classroom. Either they moved up, maybe they left, maybe they moved away, or they're staying in the same exact classroom. And that's how you can make sure that your teachers have access to record keeping and transparent classroom, that you're billed for the right days, and that children are in the right classrooms. So we look forward to answering any questions that you might have. You're always welcome to click on the help menu and email us to ask a question. You can also call us at any time, watch brief video tutorials, schedule live trainings, and we look forward to joining you next month with our next topic for our When Transparent Classroom is on Facebook Live again. Thanks so much, folks, and I appreciate your time this afternoon. You'll be able to access this video and replay it as many times as you want for future reference. Please feel free to share this post with your friends and coworkers who use Transparent Classroom if that would be, if you think it would be useful for them. And again, we look forward to joining you here again next month.